Sprite Castle, Sprite Castle, Sprite Castle,
Mr. Rob O'Hara,
Sprite Castle.
All right, check 1, 2, check. Mics are hot. Cameras are hot. I'm friggin' hot. Let's go. What a fun Wednesday. Hope everybody's having a great Wednesday. You know what I bought just for the holiday season? You know, the holiday season, some people say, what makes the holiday season? Is it the Christmas lights that you put on the outside of your house? Is it the smell of the evergreen tree when you bring it in? Is it the sound? Is it the crackle of the fireplace as it pops and you sit around late at night? You know what I say it is? It's the seasonal peppermint vodka. Break the seal. It's a vintage year. It's 2022. It's almost like popping a cork. It's like someone melted a candy cane in little AMSR for you there. The pouring of the peppermint vodka. It's a good year. Gentle stir. It smells like those the cheap little peppermint candies. It's like someone put that in a glass of gasoline and let it dissolve. Cheers to you guys. Cheers to everybody who takes time out of their Wednesday. I know people got stuff to do. I know people got places to be. And for some ungodly reason, you come here to spend it with me. God bless you. Season's greetings. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. And all that other crapola. How's everybody doing this fine day? Why am I all twisted around? Because we're going to the device that I paid hundreds of dollars for. The device that nobody can seem to get these days. It's the old MiSTer. So let's get over to the MiSTer. There we are. Is the MiSTer on? Well, that don't seem good. Today we are playing Zaxxon. We're going to play some Zaxxon today. And the reason we're playing some Zaxxon is because I'm going to be covering Zaxxon probably tomorrow on Sprite Castle. And then that is going to be the last episode of Sprite Castle for a little bit. Going to take a break. Going to, I don't know if this works. This doesn't seem to be. Oh. It's playing blind. I'm going to reset this. I haven't actually played Zaxxon on this. I just saw it on here on the arcade core. So I thought I would try it, but this is not the version I was going to play. So I'm starting to think this isn't going to work. Woo! I have not had the peach crown. I've had an apple crown, I've had there's some other flavor that we had of Crown. I'm going to say this one doesn't actually work. I'm going to try this. Maybe there's a setting I'm missing here. But it, let's see, under dip switches, we got sound on, cabinet, upright. Let's go to a cocktail cabinet. I can't imagine that would make a difference, except for it might be on its side, but we'll see. But it's definitely playing blind. But Vanilla Crown, that's the other one. So my son turned 21 over the weekend. And we had a big party. He told us all the things he was into. He's into cooking. He's into grilling. He's into baking. He's into musical instruments. And so my wife's family bought him many gifts to go with all those things. And my family all bought him alcohol. Okay, it's doing something, but this is playing blind. Yeah, I don't think this version works. So we're gonna, I'm just gonna throw this one in for the, like right at the last second, but this is not what we came here for. That's okay. Let's get back to our main screen. You know what we're going to do? There's two versions of Zaxxon for the Commodore 64, and we're going to try them both. That's what we're going to start with here. There's at least two versions. There are actually several versions for the Commodore 64. There's regular Zaxxon, there's Super Zaxxon, there's let's go see, where would I have put that? Probably under assembly. Yeah. The good thing is when you're wanting to play Zaxxon, you can just jump to the end of lists. And there it is. So there should be, yes. So here's, this should be the original, the first version of Zaxxon. There was a version that came out in 1984 for the Commodore 64, and then there was an updated version that came out later. I'm not talking about Super Zaxxon, which also did come out. Trazu says, Flack, how are you guys doing, especially after your wife sat next to the woman who gave her COVID? Well, it wasn't a woman, it was a guy, and it was a pilot for Southwest Airlines who was traveling back to his home station and came. My wife was in a window seat. There was a guy on the aisle seat, and the pilot came and sat right in the middle seat, and then coughed all over her the entire flight, and said, "Don't worry, it's not COVID." And then my wife was sick the next day. By the way, I'm going to turn this light down here a little bit. And he said, don't worry, it's not COVID. And then she immediately got COVID. The light in my face is Office Light 1B. Now, what kind of dork labels all his lights? The kind of dork that streams and needs to change one light at a time. And then the thing is that she didn't show any symptoms for like 2 to 3 days. And then once she started showing symptoms, we made an immediate audible, and we said, listen, you got to go take a test right now. And she did, and it was positive. And I said, you got to quarantine for the rest of the family. And she did. And then within 24 hours, I was coughing and I had symptoms. So it was just too late. By the time that she had symptoms, it was too late. So We're both vaccinated and have booster shots. And in fact, as I show off my Popeye muscles here, oh, my Band-Aid came off. I got a booster today. It's a little too late. But so wasn't too bad. We spent about 3 days later around the house just not feeling like doing anything. That was the thing. It was the energy, you know. It was just a complete lack of energy. So let's see. Boy, I've kind of twist around to use the mouse here. But yep, we're all good. Let's see. Yep, Curtis, we made it 2.5 years. And then and finally came down with it. So also, I do have my Boat Fest tickets, and I have not talked to Steel Rat about this yet. But I bought 2 tickets. So if Steel Rat is interested in going, the 2 of us may be making a road trip to, we'll have to check calendar dates and all that stuff. But if this helps you remember the date, it is the weekend of my wife's 50th birthday. It literally couldn't be a worse date for me, but here we are. Okie dokie. Let's see. Volume levels look okay. This is the first Zaxxon. This is not my favorite version of Zaxxon for the Commodore 64. I think the URL is boatfest.info, I believe, but it could be wrong, and I'm sure that Twitch will block anyone's attempts to share what the proper URL is. They got it locked down with the old band hammer. So I can't really imagine anybody that would come to a stream on a Wednesday night to watch video games has not seen some version of Zaxxon. So right before I started, I saw that it was in the arcade. You know what? Maybe at the end we'll throw up MAME on the PC and we'll throw the arcade version. But essentially, this was the first what we now call isometric arcade game. Sega stuck with this and did a few more isometric games. They did Congo Bongo. The regular version of Zaxxon consists of 2 levels. That level, and then there's this in-between level, or the end of the round where you have to fly through space. Now, this has an additional difficulty because it's difficult to tell your height. So now you have the little height meter. You have to look at your height meter over there on the side. But the easiest thing to do is just sit here and fire over and over, and eventually you'll hit these guys. Try to stay out of their way. And then there's a second level, and then at the end of that level is a big robot whose name is Zaxxon. All right, so that's the end of the first level. This version of Zaxxon, I'm not going to lie, is very difficult. Oh, I just missed. There's a little gap in there that you get to fly through. It's kind of like Star Wars. You got to use your lasers to find your height right there. Which makes it a little bit difficult. You have in the arcade, you had a can't believe I got that one. You had a 4-way stick. No, an 8-way stick. Where was the? I didn't see the gap on the wall there. Oh, that's it. Let's talk about Zaxxon for a minute. So, you had a stick that almost looked like the Tron stick, like a flight stick, and then you had a trigger, a firing trigger. I was with, I believe, Steel Rat. I think he was with me at this auction. I went to an arcade auction. Hey, C-Dubs, good to see you in here. Jason Warren's in the house. So I should go through and see everybody who's here. Aardvark, Beach Bum, Brock, Buck Owens, Commodore Chronicles, Drapsnat. I don't know if that's a real person. I hope it is, because that's a great name. Drazoo, of course, in the house. Jason Warrens, L. Curtis Boyle. Mr. Gornfeld, how are you, sir? Petzel in the house. And, of course, Steel Rat, 666, playing lead guitar. Yeah, if you're planning on going to Boat Fest, I just can't say it enough. There's modern conventions. If you've been to modern conventions, like not Comic Con, but like big gaming conventions where there are hundreds or thousands of people, and you might run into your friends, you might not. It's more about shopping, I think, than a lot of things. But in the old school days, like, when cons were a little bit smaller, it was really about just people coming to these shows and bringing what you got, bring your computer, bring some games, set up tables, play games, talk to people, have a good time, have some drinks. Sounds like little jingle bells. Santa, you brought me a gift. I think that bottle was $15, but it really tastes like a $12 bottle. Yeah, they were basically copy fest, And anywho, it was Boat Fest was just like a throwback to those days. It was just literally old school guys sitting around playing video games, messing around with computers. It was just a whole fun weekend. And I think you gotta watch that guy. There's a gun that shoots sideways there. I always forget about that guy. There's a lot going on in Zaxxon. There's a lot of axes. What's the plural of axis? Axis? Axes? Axi? There's a lot of axi. You don't need to plural. There's only 3. Right. But there's a lot in play. You got to go like up, down. You got to watch stuff left and right. You got to watch your height. You got to watch, as the kids say, you got to watch the X, Y, and the Z axis. They're all in play. Are they all in play? X, Y, and Z, I suppose. Yeah, things are coming at you. Well, that was a quick game. But, yeah, you know what? There are several people in the chat that I met in person at Boat Fest. I had such a good time talking to Jason Warrens. Jason Warrens is somebody that I hadn't talked with a whole lot online. You comment on stuff, I comment on stuff, ships passing in the night, so to speak. But just to stand around in a circle of a bunch of dudes and tell old stories and what did I hit? So ridiculous. But that was a highlight for me. Of course, getting to meet Drazoo in person, and that was great. And I still have I just was cleaning out the garage, my workshop, and just saw my copy of Thexter, which is still sitting out. It's out with my software that's out there, but there's a wall. I need to bring it in here and put it behind me. Oh, up and over. Down, back in. It shouldn't be too hard to beat. This first level goes pretty fast. There we go. Now we got to get to the old roundabout here's. Let's see. And then getting to meet Petzel. That was super fun. Petzel was he and his wife were the other ones who went on the Mothman tour on Sunday with me and Amigo Aaron and Tree, and that was super fun. Like I said, as a kid, God, I was into Bigfoot and Loch Ness Monster and UFOs and all that stuff. And still am, but in a different way. You know, now I'm in a way like it's an entertaining thing. When I was a kid, I was like, I swear to God, I'm going to the Bermuda Triangle. I know it's real. And so I went to of course, we did the whole Mothman tour. And then I went to the, what was the other monster thing? The Flatbush, is that what it was? Monster. But just a really fun weekend. So, yeah, if you're into old games, old dudes, and you know, I think there's a lot of us, not just podcasters. Podcasters suffer from this greatly, I think, but just regular people, you know. There's a thing called imposter syndrome, which is the thing that people feel like when they're like, they're not knowledgeable enough, or they don't know the history of something enough to talk about it, you know. And it's a real thing. You know what I mean? Like, writers really suffer from imposter syndrome because people say, you know, well, how can I talk about this? You know, how can I give advice on writing when there's people like Stephen King who have written books about writing? You know, I'm just repeating what he said, or you know, I have a whole library, a whole shelf of books about writing from different authors, you know. And so when you sit down and do a podcast and you go, I'm going to talk about Commodore games. What do I know more about Commodore games than anybody else, you know? And or you think I'm just looking up data that other people have put out there, you know? So it's a struggle, you know? And it's easy to fall into this thing of, well, I don't want to go to a boat fest. I don't want to go to a thing like that because those guys are all experts on stuff and I don't know. Don't think that way. First of all, nobody there is going to make fun of anybody. Nobody there is going to be like, who's this guy? Everybody's there to have a good time. Everybody's there to talk about games, share information, just to have a good time, you know. And I'm not going to lie, on Saturday night, I think the bottles were tipping back. And also, Boatfest is going to be held over an Irish pub. So, yeah, if you feel like, man, I don't know why anybody would feel this way, but if you're like, I don't feel qualified to go to this. I don't feel like trust me, if you are somebody that likes old games and you want to go have a good time, there was some guy there, and Aaron might remember the guy's name, but he was like, everybody there knew each other from the Amigos and from online. And then there was one guy that was like, just heard about it locally. He just wandered in. He didn't know anybody there. And he was there for both days of Boatfest. He had a blast. And we were like, who's that guy? And everybody's like, I don't know. And he was just some random dude that wandered in. Oh, that's right. And he did bring a bottle of moonshine. And that, not that you're going to need warmed up, I don't think, in West Virginia in the middle of summer. But that'll warm you up. All right. We're going to do one more round of this. We got a lot of, geez Louise, we got a lot of versions of Zaxxon to play. We're going to play another Commodore version. So I want you to take a look at this version of Commodore, or of Zaxxon on the Commodore. Hopefully you could hear the sound effects okay. You can hear the sound of the gun. You can hear the explosions. You should be hearing lots of explosions. The gun is almost like a snare drum, like a tap 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 tap. So we're going to try another version of Zaxxon for the Commodore here in a minute, and then we're going to play my favorite. I don't want to say my favorite. We're going to play the first version of Zaxxon I ever played, and then we're going to try some others. Now, I will tell you that there are a couple of versions of Zaxxon that are actually in 2D. The version for the Atari 2600 is in 2D, and I tried that version on the MiSTer, and the MiSTer display just freaked out. It did not like that version at all. I'm trying to shoot a planet for some reason. I'm like, ha! I got it. Saturn, you are mine. These rings shall not stand. Oh boy. Get off me. Oh boy. Oh, satellite of love. Get it. But yeah, Boatfest is going to be on the second story of an Irish pub. So if that doesn't spell trouble, I don't know what will. Hopefully that guy brings some more moonshine. Who was I think Level Lord was the one. Was it Level Lord who brought all the different drinks and stuff? I definitely want to bring some more drinks to share. Like I had brought kind of like just enough for like a little personal stash, you know, yeah, I definitely want to bring some more goods. C-Dubs, we're going to be playing the 5200 version here, not in just a few minutes. So if that was a favorite of yours, stay tuned, my friend. And it is pretty good. It's no Commodore 64. This particular version was not my favorite just because it's very dark. It's difficult to see all the stuff. It shows up a little better on the stream. I'm going to jump over. I'm going to pull. No, I'm not going to pull that keyboard. It won't move at all. I'm going to move my face and not the keyboard. This is a updated version of Zaxxon that was released on a cart, I believe, based off this name. But through the magic of the internet, someone has changed it into a disc format here. So, and speaking of earplugs, there was the hotel last time was filled with teenage volleyball participants. So earplugs were a good thing to have at the Boatfest Hotel last time. I always sleep with earbuds. Always. I sleep with earbuds at home. I have another pair of earbuds just like these. These are Skull Candy earbuds, and I have a pair in the bedroom. I might sleep in the van. Oh no, if Steel Rat rides with me, I won't sleep in the van. But that was a possibility. God, if Steel Rat goes with me, then my van plans may have to change. I'm not going to make anybody else sleep in a van with me. We're not going to do any cheats here. No unlimited lives, no unlimited whatever. Joystick. And you can see this one's a little fancier here. This still says copyright Sega 1984, but we've got a better scrolling routine right off the bat. And we got better sound. We've got better... The colors are so much brighter that it makes it easier to see stuff. But I can tell you that the firing speed is much slower. So before it was almost like a machine gun. Oh, I didn't see that till it was too late. But yeah, this version, the way that they did the ground with the lighter blue, boy, it's hard to see on this. It's hard to see the. I sleep in the van and you get a room, and then I come knocking. Oh, hi, can I take a shower in your room? That's the thing, is I should probably get a room just so I don't go to a 3-day fest and not take a shower for 3 days. Yeah, so this version is much closer looking to the arcade version. Again, this is a Commodore 64. Get up there. That was terrible. That was terrible. I wish that hadn't happened. All right, we're just going to stay up here. Now, the reason that you can't fly at the top height the whole way is because you have a fuel meter down there. In case you didn't notice, down there is a fuel meter. And Just like River Raid and a few other games, you got to shoot those fuel things to load up on your fuel. Now this particular this part of the game is much worse than it was on the other one. The ships are much slower, it seems. And they're changing axis. Axi, we never did solve that. And they're changing heights. But, unlike some versions of Zaxxon, it seems like you have to kill all those people. And in some, it's just like, after a while they go, we give up. We're out. Now, there are a lot of things. Oh boy. Like walls. Am I going to be streaming on Wednesdays in the new year? I don't know. Probably not every Wednesday, but it will be some Wednesdays. But I know that's not a great answer. But, I have a kid who's a senior in high school. And so we've had music shows on Wednesdays. We've had our band performances and other stuff come up. So... and some of those things I've actually missed. I've come home and done a stream instead of going to the kids' music performance and stuff, which doesn't always sit well. So I'll be streaming some. God, let's forget about that wall. How do you forget about a wall? Some Wednesdays. I don't want to say most Wednesdays, and I definitely can't say all Wednesdays. But some Wednesdays. And maybe I'll be throwing other days in there as well, too. We'll see. I kind of like doing the music streams on Saturday night. Those do not get archived. Twitch won't let you archive them because, little nose kissy on the Zaxxon. You can't archive them because they're copyrighted music. So you can stream them. But they won't save on Twitch, and you can't save them obviously to YouTube. So, if you ever, my idea for the Saturday night music streams was always like, hey, like you're hanging out, you're doing some stuff on the computer, maybe you're playing games, maybe you're doing something, and you want some background noise, you turn on the Saturday night stream, there's music playing, and that's kind of the vibe, I mean, it's not, I don't expect or really envision people giving their undivided attention to the Saturday night music streams. In fact, I would like to do one. I've had this kind of planned for a little bit of video game music. Music from video games. And I've got a whole bunch. God, it's so hard to tell. The third dimension is so hard to tell in this game. I'm going to try one more, and then we're going to move on to a couple of different other versions. Now, I will tell you one version that I tried out was the Sega Master System. Now, I did not have a Sega Master System, so someone feel free to educate me and the rest of us in the chat. But it is three-dimensional. I mean, it looks like a 3D movie. It has two versions that are flickering. So I guess that was a accessory that came with, I'm guessing here, some sort of accessory that came with the Sega Master. I shot you in the face, dude. That came with the Sega Master System was glasses or something. I vaguely remember SMS glasses. But that makes, without that accessory, it makes it unplayable. So I can pull it up if anybody wants to see it, but it's not playable for sure. I didn't even think that I might need to turn the sound down. Hopefully you're not getting a weird echo of the sound with the way that the MiSTer routes audio. I'll turn it down just a little bit. It's getting the audio directly from the MiSTer, and then I have to get the audio from the actual speakers. So I have there's always a case of little audio feedback on that. I try to keep the volume pretty low. Steel Rat and I went to an arcade auction. It actually wasn't an arcade auction. It was a auction that was being held by a bingo parlor that had gone out of business. And they were auctioning off tables and chairs and trash cans. And we bought 10 trash cans. I just threw my last trash can away. I had a lifetime supply of 20-gallon trash cans. But over the years, they got brittle. I mean, this is 20 years ago, but they eventually got brittle and had to throw them away. Man, screwed that up. But anyway, at the end of the auction, they had a bunch of arcade games, and I bought a Zaxxon arcade game that played, but the monitor was not working for $50. And they always tell you, if you've ever gone to a the pause button on the title screen. I did not know that. We're going to try that. Adam. But Manifold Kaizen, hello. Yes. So we're playing different versions of Zaxxon tonight. This is the better, I think, of the two versions for the Commodore 64, and then we're gonna switch over to some other versions here very shortly. So anyway, there's the old joke on eBay. If you ever, like, I used to buy arcade stuff, and there's only two categories: non-working, or what was the old joke? Working and untested. And so the joke was, if it said untested, it definitely didn't work. And if it said working, it was a 50-50 chance of it working, right? And so whenever I would go to these arcade auctions, if there was a game, there was something wrong with the monitor. And I know Aaron knows this. I know Jeff knows this. Some of the other you guys that may have messed with arcade games know this. But monitor issues are like a full-time job. If you're into the arcade scene, you're going to have monitor issues, and you better learn how to... what was the way I used to put it? You had better either know how to work on monitors, like do capacitors. You had better become friends with somebody that knows how to do those. Or there was two other choices. You had better be willing to pay somebody that knows how to repair those. Or you had better learn how to enjoy all your broken games. That's pretty much it. I mean, you will have monitor issues if you are in... I'm not going to focus on this wall. Focus on this GD wall. All right. Not that one. I can get through that one. But there's a wall coming up right here. Okay. That seems my shots are going through. Oh. That wasn't an electrified one. Right here. Okay. This is up. Now what did I... This game better get its facts on. That rhymes with Zaxxon too. Okay, flew through there. Let's shoot some fuel. Okay, let's get over here. What was that? Oh, man. So, oh, I wasn't even looking at it. I died. All right. So, anyway. Oh, I got another man. Oh. They're all hole through, and they're all, it's, and like I said, I know Aaron's done a bunch of them, but, when they go bad, and you can go to these places and buy cap kits. You tell them what kind of monitor, and they'll send you a baggie with schematics and 20 capacitors, So anyway, they'll tell you anything in an auction. I'm going to tell this story before I start another version of Zaxxon. They'll tell you anything. They'll be like, I went to oh no, it's playing. Like, I'm never this good. We're bringing on another round of the peppermint holiday themed Smirnoff. I saw a Frogger machine one time. I wish it fizzed. Psh. And the Frogger machine, I walked around the back, and there was no monitor. There was no board. There was no power supply. It was literally an empty cabinet. 10 minutes later, when they were auctioning it off, the auctioneer said, "Now, this game was working earlier today." And I thought, really? Then it's haunted. That would be a pretty amazing miracle for this game that's really wood and has no electronics in it to work. Cheers to you, Drezu. So, anyway, there was a Zaxxon machine. Long story short, the video wasn't working, and they go, "It's probably just a fuse." And I was like, "It's probably not just a fuse." That's what they always say. Oh, it's a 10-cent thing, which, by the way, if anybody tells you they could fix something with a fuse, you got to ask yourself, why didn't they put a fuse in it? And odds are they did. They tried that. So I paid $50 for a Zaxxon machine. I got it home, and literally the video cable that went from the motherboard to the monitor had fallen off, and I plugged it in, and the monitor lit right up, and it immediately worked. And so I had a working and very good looking and good shaped Zaxxon cabinet that I paid $50 for. And I had it for a long time and played lots of Zaxxon, and that's the end of that story. It doesn't have a good ending. And then I set it on fire. Just made up an ending. All right. So we played both Commodore 64 versions of Zaxxon, and I want to jump over to the first version of Zaxxon that I ever played. This was the version that, now I'm sure that I probably had seen Zaxxon in the arcade by the time I got a copy of Zaxxon for the Apple II, but I remember showing this game to my dad, and it blew his mind. He was like, "It is 3-dimensional." He was like, "This is the future of video games. How can they do this? You know, it is like being in a spaceship." It was very groundbreaking at the time. This isometric view, which again, Sega went on to use in Congo Bongo. There are other games over the years that made good use of it. Marble Madness made a good use of it, But this was the first version that I ever played. This is obviously the Apple II. If you have a MiSTer, by the way, the Apple II joystick was an analog joystick. And so if I'm using a PS3 controller plugged right into the USB port, and you can use the analog sticks for the Apple II controller. That's what I normally use. So one player. Now, the problem, I won't say problem. I don't like to say problem. The problem with this one is that the joystick is self-centering. So every time you let it go, it goes right to that spot right there. So I'm holding right, and when I let go, that's where it goes. I'm holding down to shoot these things. When I let go, it goes there. It's not a huge problem until you get to those little gaps in the walls that you got to go through, and then as you're pressing down, it's fighting against you, and it makes it very hard to play on this. I hear bits, but I didn't see who it was. Somebody tell me who that was. Oh, it's Foosballer. What's up, my friend? We're playing some Zaxxon tonight. We played. Now, you'll notice the Apple II, we don't get the scrolling star field. Also, in the Apple II version, it's really easy to, of course, I just mentioned that the joystick wants to stay at that height, but everybody else kind of comes to that height too. So this part, Mac Apple in the house. This part is much easier on the Apple version than on the Commodore 64. It's easier and it's harder. I shouldn't say easier or harder. What I should say is it's a 2-dimensional level instead of a 3-dimensional, or no, it's 1-dimensional instead of 2-dimensional. Is that right? I got Zaxxon to my head. because I mean, while you can dip, dive, dodge, whatever, now this is where it's going to get challenging right here as we start to try fighting those little gaps. This one is not bad, but hey boy. Apple had a lot of good games, especially with limited hardware. I mean, they're not dealing with sprites. They're not dealing with they have limited sound capabilities. You know, the Apple II. Most Apple II on my Apple II. I think I only ever used the speaker, for sound. Okay, let's try to weasel through that one. Kind of like did a dive to try to get through there. I'm going to try this a couple more times here. We're enjoying some holiday peppermint Smirnoffs. All right. Can I hit the button? Is it smart enough to know it's a one player? We'll see. The old Apple II self-centering joystick. Oh no, something terrible has happened. I can't do anything. Oh, you know what? I think it thinks player 1 is using a D-pad, the D-pad on here, and player 2 is using the analog stick. That's interesting. But regardless of which one you're doing, it still wants to return to that spot. One thing I've always noticed is, they make a big deal on Zaxxon. It says, well, you got to get on the ground level, you got to shoot those fuel things and stuff, but it's actually pretty hard to run out of fuel. Don't tell the programmers at Zaxxon that, but now, was it Super Zaxxon that had the robot? Or no, Zaxxon, is that Zaxxon or Super Zaxxon? I don't remember, but at the end you had to fight that. Again, there'll be a episode of Sprite Castle coming out the next 24 to 48 hours where I'll be talking about Zaxxon. And one of the things I found out during research, which I did not know, is that this type of scrolling, not this type, but the type that you see in Zaxxon, that we've come to know as isometric game, right, that view. But that type of scrolling where you scroll at a 45-degree angle, right? Like you scroll one X and one Y every round. There is a term for that, and it is called axon scrolling, AXXON. So I believe, now this is the part I'm not sure of, but I believe basically it is because you're scrolling both axes, the X and the Y axes at the same time. And so I have a craft joystick for my Apple right over there. The cord's really long. I could probably reach it. I wish it worked on this. I love the craft joystick. That is my favorite Apple II joystick. And I really like the craft. Okay, let's try to hit it. No, too high. We're too low. We made it. Oh boy, I didn't make it. Game over, player 1. And so the type of scrolling where it scrolls every round or every update, one X and one Y, was called axon scrolling. And so that's literally where the name Zaxxon came from. They just added a letter Z, and axon scrolling became Zaxxon. Texas, you got to next June. You got to get in your. You live in Texas. I don't want to assume anything, but I'm going to say you get in your truck and you got to drive it to Hurricane, West Virginia, and join the rest of us at Boat Fest, where we're going to be playing Zaxxon. Drezu says his father-in-law gave him an Apple II GS. We talk about the Apple II GS. I have a CFFS 3000. You're lucky if you got one of those. They are unobtainium, and you could sell them for a fortune. I've never been one of those people to sell things even when the price goes high. What I like to do is sell things when the price goes absolutely low. But I have seen CFFA cards at one point were going for close to $1,000. And then whoever there's an Apple group of Apple people that make updated hardware, like they're making power supplies and stuff, and they were making clone CFFA cards, but either they didn't make very many of them or something happened. But I don't think that they sell them either. But those things are worth a fortune. And I have one in my Apple over here, and I think all the time I should sell it because, I mean, I'm playing this on a MiSTer right now. What do I need that thing for? So I guess what I'm saying is if anybody has $1,000 and wants to buy a card, bring your money and come to Boat Fest, and I'll sell it to you right there. The Apple IIgs, I had a friend of a friend who had one, and I only got to play on it like one time. But the 2GS was obviously had some great sound capabilities. Graphically, it was kind of weird. The highest resolution, don't quote me, but the one that I'm most familiar with was 640 by 200, which is a weird resolution. So it didn't look, as good as the Amiga, but it looked better than the 8-bit systems. Task Times and Tone Town was one of the first games I saw on the 2GS, along with Zany Golf. That was one that I saw. A few other games. I think Barge Tale has enhanced graphics for the 2GS. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to hold down here, and then right before I'm going to let up and try to make it. Oh my God, the Zaxxon Hero! God, you see that? Oh God. Game over. That's terrible. Yes. So the 2GS is backwards compatible. So it can play all of the, there's really no differentiation software wise really between the 2 Plus, 2E, 2C. I mean, there may be very, 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 very slight differences. And definitely there are some things that the older systems could not play. But just think of the 2GS, yes, 100%, quote unquote, 100% backwards compatible. Okay, we're going to do one more round of this. So the 2C, I had a 2C, I sold it. The only problem with the 2C, it's very convenient because, I got waxed on. That you can't put internal cards in it, so it's not expandable. Now there are other things, but like you can't install the CFFA 3000 in a 2C. You can't install a Mockingbird sound card. Now there are some other add-ons, that have been like retro made, where you can maybe do some modifications and do some stuff. But the original, all that old school hardcore hardware you can't put in a 2C because there's no internal slots because of the form factor. So for that, you've got to go 2E. I have a stack of Apple IIes, but they're all in weird states of not working. Some are missing some cards, some are missing more than others. I thought there was 100,000 things I could have brought to Boat Fest, and I actually, this is a story I haven't really told anybody. Not that it's a super secret spy story, but I actually brought a bunch of stuff to sell at Boat Fest, and then on the night of the trading thing or whatever, people were just pulling out huge boxes of stuff and saying that everything is free. Just take it. It was like a swap meet. It wasn't a sale thing, and it just didn't feel like the right vibe to pull out stuff for sale when everybody else was giving away. So I just left it all. Like I brought like 500 NES cards to sell, and that was my intention, was to sell it and pay for the trip, but it just didn't feel right. So I just left them. They were actually under my table the whole time. So I don't know. And then of course, towards the end, like you said, Pac Billy had a computer for sale, and there were a few things for sale. So and nobody said anything to me about it. Nobody said, hey, no, this is more for trading. It was just a personal insecurity where I was like, yeah, it's just not it's like, like trying to sell bootleg copies of Woodstock. Like you go, it's not really the vibe. So I didn't do it, but maybe, I don't know. We'll see what I bring. I may bring, there's no way I'm making, I'm the hero. Oh, I said that last time and I died. Don't say that. Oh gosh, get through that. Come on. No. Oh, I'm saving the day. Zaxxon. Oh, Zaxxon. Come on. Oh, Zaxxon, you hit the wings, Zaxxon. All right, I'm done with this. It's stupid. Stupid. All right, okay, let's go to, we played, let's see, what was on my list? We got the Atari, or the Apple. Let's go to Atari. Let's go to the Atari version. This is the Atari 5200 version. And this is, now you've seen the Commodore version. So, in my world, it's the best, of course. And then you've seen the Apple II version, which we played a little bit. Now, we're going to play the Atari 5200. And, I'm just letting them speak for themselves. I'm really not ranking them. But just so you could compare them and see what the two things are. A Flack signed C64 Mini. That can only devalue it. Okay. Well, we got to hit here. I'm hitting some buttons. Well, there we go. All right. So the first thing you'll see. Whoa. Okay, I'm using the wrong joystick. The first thing you'll see. This thing is way faster than the. Of course, it's probably it's the fastest of the three we've played. Not only is it fast coming at me, but wait a minute, I was right at the end. But it's fast. My ship reacts so fast. You can see I can just fly up, fly down. Those are not the cool game sound effects. I did those. As we get deeper into the bottle of peppermint schnapps, there will be more sound effects. Won't that be great? The ships on this one, the enemy ships on this level, don't seem to be circling around or also diving or whatever. They're just coming at you, which is fine. And this is one where you just got to survive this level. And we have survived this level. We're back up. Maximum height. We're into level 2. Level 2. Oh. Level 2 was a doo-doo. So here's the thing. 1010, who is, didn't notice if he's in the stream yet or not, has been one of my longest Patreon supporters. And he has been asking me for an audio version of Commodore for years. And every year I'm like, God, I would love to do it. I would really love to do it. I would love to do Commodore and Commodore here, put it out as a 2-pack. Not the wrapper. Although, if maybe Commodore in this style of okay, that's a dumb joke. And the thing is that I spend all week working on podcasts and then dying in Zaxxon. Working on podcasts and doing stuff, and so either I'm not in the mood to do it, or I can't do it because of my voice. How did I die 3 times in the same spot? That's whack, son. So one of the things I want to do, within the first couple of months of 2023, because I am going to be taking a break from podcasting for a little bit, is do that. Put that out. You know, I mean, I'm going to be doing that, working on that January, maybe February. But I've been wanting to do that for a long time. It will be a labor of love. I don't think that I'll actually make a dime off of it. I mean, I'll make a little bit, but it's really, that thing is not, oh, you can't go up and down. I didn't realize that on this version you can't move up and down. We're all locked in the same plane. That's interesting. So the key is to just time your shots when the ships are appearing, and then just kind of clean a little path there. I thought about releasing it as through one of the official audiobook channels. The one that's with Amazon, AWS, I think is who it is. And what's the big audiobook people? I don't know what that is. They take 70%. Oh, I would try to go over that. You gotta go over that. It's like a Zaxxon limbo. Zaxxon limbo. Okay, move through that one. Just a little bit up. Boop, boop. Okay. Oh, let's go. Oh, man, I almost made it to the end. I want to beat this so bad. I was thinking, I don't know, you guys could tell me what you think, but what I was wanting to do was, I thought $10 and do it DRM free. I'll just do it as an MP3. So just cross your fingers that people pay for it. And, like, you don't sell one copy and then everybody gets copies of it. But if it does, you know, what are you going to do? And then, and for that, you would get Commodore and Commodore gear. You would get both books. So, I thought I could go into that. My Zaxxon Limbo technique did not work. So you'd get 2 audiobooks for $10. That was kind of the idea. If you haven't looked at Commodore gear, and by the way, if you're in this stream tonight and you've read Commodore and you would like Commodore gear, send me an email to robohare@robohare.com, and I will just send you the ebook version. If it's something you know, I almost would like to do books as a shareware model. Just do it. Just like, hey, here's the book. Pay what you want. You know, the problem is what you want to pay is usually $0. That's what I want to pay. You know, I'm gonna go off on a tangent for just a moment. I listened to a podcast. I listened to the Steve-O podcast, and there was a recent episode where Steve-O was interviewing Wee Man, and they were going off about how stupid the video game industry is. They were like, people that play video games are dumb and they're just wasting their time, wasting their life, and all this. And I mean, I get it. If that's the only thing you ever do, then yeah, you know, like everything in moderation, right? But anyway, then they said, I don't even know. They sell games for $50 or $60, and the CD is only like 50 cents. There's just a ripoff. And I was like, do they literally not understand that someone had to program that game? And if it's a game like, I mean, Grand Theft Auto, wasn't it the first game that had $1 million or $10 million budget or something? I mean, it was just crazy. I forgot to do my ASMR, ARM, I don't forget what it is. It's just ridiculous, you know. And they were just like, there shouldn't be more than 50 cents. I'm like, well, and digital download, gosh, that should be free because you don't even have to pay for a CD. It's like they forgot that you have to market it and write the game and program it, and there's hundreds of people that work on it, you know. And so I had someone tell me one time that they were like, well, I just downloaded your book. I just downloaded a pirate copy because, you know, I didn't want to pay for it and all this. Okay, Commodore is listed on my website. This is not a plug. I'm just telling you this. Commodore is on my website. You can get the PDF for $2.99. And people are like, yeah, but PDF, you know, is free. But I'm like, I mean, I spent like 6 months writing it and editing it and putting all the stories in it and doing all that. And then people go, 6 months of your life is not worth $3. You know, like, people go, why don't you try to make a living? Well, take 6 months. I mean, and it's not like I worked on it 8 hours a day every day or whatever, but I mean, take that amount of time and divide it out. You're going to be pretty far from minimum wage. It's pretty tough to do, you know? So and these days I'm not going to say I'm happy when people steal it, because I'm not, but I'm more interested in I would rather if people just said, man, I'd really like to check out your book and I don't have $3, I would go, let me send you a PDF, because I would rather, if that is a barrier for entry, if you can't afford the $3 or whatever, or you don't think it's worth it, then I would just send you a copy. You know what I mean? So anyway, sorry about that rant, but so for the audiobook, you know, but I mean, when I put that out, there's going to, in the front, there's got to be something dedicated to 1010, who was one of the first people that emailed me when I said, look, I want to step back from podcasting a little bit next year. He has constantly sent me supportive emails, and God love him, for the past at least 2 years, he said, hey man, you should make an audiobook. And he's so right, I should do the audiobook. And I'm just haven't been able to get to it with all the other projects. And so that is one of the things. Oh, hey, there you are. Yeah. And so next year, you know, as I take a break, that's definitely one of the things that I want to be. You know, I thought about doing, this is stupid. I thought about like selling it on a USB stick or whatever, and then having something on the USB stick to where, like, I would include a floppy disk or a floppy disk image, and then there would be something that you would, like, something just for you or whatever. I have a lot of ideas for books that don't scale well. Like, you know, I was thinking about one time, like, a book. Oh, I just kind of, see that? That was like a Call of Duty. I got sniped from the side. Like a book where this was like a private or a piracy deterrent where at some point you would just have to call me. Like there would be a secret, like a character would tell another character a secret, then you would give me your phone number and I would call you and tell you the secret. I mean, that works good if you sell 2 books a month, but if you sell 1,000 books, I can't just sit around all day calling strangers, tell them parts of the book. That ain't gonna work. So I don't know. I honestly think when I was a kid, the harder people made it to copy games, the more I wanted to copy them. You know what I mean? And so as an adult, I just found this shareware program, and basically what it does is it helps you with, if you have a Plex media server, it helps you rename your files. And it was free, and then it said, hey, if you use this, send me $5. And so I used it, and after, like, I sent the guy $5, and I was like, hey, this is saving me a lot of time. This is great. And then I used it for like a week, and I sent him another $5, and the guy was like, hey, you already paid me, you know. And then I go, I know, but I said, I didn't realize at the time how much this was going to save me. Like, it's saved me, you know, weeks of renaming files. And so, but anyway, so that's kind of the business model that I think about today. I think it's not about preventing people from, like, I don't want to sell some DRM audiobook that you can't put on your phone and can't put on your thing or what. I don't want to do that, you know. So, I mean, I'll put something out and then I'll just be like, man, I hope you like it, and I hope you paid for it. And if you didn't and you liked it, if you downloaded it somewhere and you liked it, I hope you send me $1. And if you don't want to send me anything, what are you going to do? But, yeah. And you know what, Drezu? You're absolutely right. At the end of the day, you can't change your plans or base your plans around what bad people are going to do. You can only create the art and put it out, you know, and then do that. You know what I thought about doing is in an ebook, like there would be a phone number in the book, and then I would change it for every copy that's sold. And I'd be able to track like where the pirated copies came from. I mean, who cares? You know what the reality is? Like, I've downloaded a lot of books over the years, and most of them I've never read. You know what I mean? So when people pirate my books or whatever, I go, they're just trading them. They're not reading them. They're just like explosions in Zaxxon. All right, where are we going here? We did, really it's just me running my mouth tonight, but we did the Commodore version, 2 Commodore versions. We did Apple II. This is the Atari 5200 version. I know where we're going. Watch this. Bada boom. Core ColecoVision. Now, was Zaxxon a pack-in with the ColecoVision? I don't remember. I only had one friend that had a Zaxxon. Let me start that sentence over. I only had one friend that had a ColecoVision, and when I went to his house, I was like, "Oh, ColecoVision, you want to play it?" And he went, "Nah." So when I was a kid, I literally never played a ColecoVision. Okay, I think. Can I just do this on the keyboard? No. I could do it here. All right. You know what? I didn't have the TI-99. Is the TI-99? It is. I don't know if that's on the MiSTer. We'll see. It's not one that I had in my list, but everything is possible. So here's the ColecoVision. I don't have a lot of experience with this one, so I will say the scrolling is choppy. I will say, I mean, if you want to compare to 8-bit consoles of the time, yes, I'm guarantee you this is going to be better than the Atari 2600 one. This is going to be better than, oh boy, got the old missile. So it's better than those. I don't think it's better than the Commodore version. I would be interested to see if you guys think that it's better than the Apple II version. Or not. I don't. Oh! More sound effects. Feel a little dangerous flying there on the... Gotta watch those rocket launching pads. It's okay though because I'm a rocket man. Rocket man, burning down the shoes all heaven knows. Beep, 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 beep. And I think it's gonna be a long, long time. I might get a copyright strike. People might mistake that for being Elton John. Zaxxon ain't the kind of place to raise your kids, because it's very dangerous. There's everyone to shoot you, just like him. I read Ready Player One, and I will tell you the trivia fact about Ready Player One, the book. That irritates me to this day. I mean, I'm over it. I'm not that mad. You know, the way that the scroll's so jerkily that it is difficult to gauge things. I want to read this. C-Dub says he had this for his 5200. He picked up from some neighbors at a yard sale for about $10. Games included. Nice. We literally didn't know you could shoot in Zaxxon because none of the 3 controllers had a working fire button. Yeah, this definitely does feel tile based. You can tell by the scrolling. Let me see if I've got the right button here to reset. Here we go. We're giving this a few rounds. We got a couple more things in store. I'm excited to try the SMS version with the 3D thing turned off, because I did not know that was a possibility. That was a revelation from Adam, so we're going to try that. I'm excited about that. Man, I was in the middle of a story. What was that story? Ready Player One. Ready Player One, as you know, if you've seen the movie or possibly read the book, the main character lives in a place called the Stacks, which is a tall stack of essentially mobile homes that have been stacked on top of each other. And in the book, it says that the Stacks were located in Oklahoma City off of, I don't remember if it says Reno or Northwest 10. I think it says Reno in Portland. So, first of all, I live in Oklahoma City. Number two, I know where Reno and Portland is. I've been there many times. Reno and Portland is where it's the intersection where all of the big mega furniture places are, like Mathis Brothers and Furniture Galaxy. They're all at Reno and Portland. Also, that's where UPS is. If you have a UPS package and they miss delivery 3 times, or if you're like me, they lie and say that they tried to deliver something and they didn't because they're liars, then you have to go to the UPS. I mean, it's not far away. I mean, it's not like, hours away, but it's far enough away. It's further than my front door, which is where I thought the package should have gone. Anyway, but across from the UPS and right there is this big field, and that is obviously where when Ernest Cline, who is from Texas and has, I'm sure, gone through Oklahoma before, he saw that giant field and was like, that's where the Stacks are. So I was super stoked when I read the book. I was like, wow, there's something cool in Oklahoma that, it's the Stacks. So when the book came out, or when the movie came out, they said, I live in the Stacks and I think it's Cleveland, Ohio. It's definitely Ohio. It's either Cleveland or Columbus. I think it's Cleveland. And he's like, yep, this is where the Stacks are. And I was like, what? Oh, it's Zaxxon! It's Zaxxon, you guys! Oh my gosh. What happened? The whole game just went black. Did Zaxxon kill me? What happened? I beat Zaxxon. I beat frickin' Zaxxon. We got him. Did somebody capture that? Because we just killed Zach. Like, I don't know if you know. Like, maybe you didn't have a guy in your life, like, you're like, I don't know anybody who has defeated Zaxxon, but now you do. That is unbelievable. Which is like, I should have done that in every version of this game we've been playing so far. But I'm really proud of myself, and this is a everybody wins moment, except for, by everybody I mean me, because I'm the winner, because I killed Zaxxon. He just left. You know what? You leave. This is my moment. This is between me and Zaxxon. I think he did just leave because I don't feel like I shot anywhere near him. So he was so afraid about Zaxxon powers. It's the same, exactly. It's like when you're the sheriff and it's the shootout at high noon, you don't gotta shoot the other guy. He might just be like, listen, I don't feel like getting shot. He could leave. That's still a win. You still protected your town. You go back to the saloon, you have a drink. Everybody has a good day. You don't gotta shoot somebody for a good day. I mean, obviously, Zaxxon saw my supreme Zaxxon powers and was like, you know what? I think I'll turn around and I'll flee and fight another day. So, and then he's like, I'll get him later with the electric fence. Have I played Hero on the stream? I did an entire podcast about Hero, and I have streamed Hero. Well, you wouldn't know Zaxxon was a boss from my playing because I didn't get to, or many times where I got to, that's the first time I beat the second level, which is where Zaxxon awaits you. That's not a bad version. Coleco, I mean, definitely if you're a kid, And again, you got to put things in perspective. If you were, 10 years old and you couldn't go to the arcade and you had to have a home version, that's not a bad version to have, All right, let's see. We did Coleco, we did Commodore. This is MSX, but I don't think I have MS. That may be the only versions that I have set up on here. Is the Atari 8-bit? I mean, the Atari 5200. That's the same as the Atari 8-bit. Are those versions different? I don't know. We're going to look real quick. Zaxxon didn't seem to get to the old 16-bit computers. I think by the end, I think it was the novelty was gone by then. Oh boy, yeah, we've done this before. No idea. I probably should have put those in subdirectories as it loads forever. Yeah, I don't think I have Coco set up on here. Oh, I've lost everything here. Oh, that's a... Oh. And then I escaped out of it. That was smart. Let me see. Coco 3. I'm guessing Coco 3. I don't think I've put ROMs over for this yet. I'll take a look here. Oh, multi-pack. I don't know what this means. I don't know what I just hit. I'm hitting buttons too fast. Coco 1 or 2 would be. All right. Let me see if I don't have, I haven't set this up yet. So, okay, so we'll do the SMS one. And I think that's the last one that I have set up. All right, let's go to here. Yeah, I definitely need to get the TRS-83 working and set up on here. I tried to set it up before, and I did not have good luck. So I would like to get it set up just for the just for the nostalgic factor, since that was the first computer we had, was the TRS-80 Model 3. Okay, so this is Zaxxon 3D. Now, Adam said if I hit start or select, I could turn off the 3D mode. So not select. Oh, there it is. There it is. You are a genius. Now, I've never played this version. I've never played this. I only started it and saw the 3D mode, so get ready for this. Adam wins the SMS trivia knowledge for the night. You ready for this? So far, not so good. Oh, it's funny that the XY, you know what I need to do? Oh, I'll restart it. It's because the controls are not reversed, and I should have made them reversed. This seems to be missing the part of Zaxxon that I think of as being Zaxxon so far. Oh, here we go. Ah, look at this. Look at this. The thing is that on normal Zaxxon, because of the way it draws the screen, there's such a limited... This is like Death Star run. This should have been called Zaxxon Wink Death Star Trench. So the way that Zaxxon normally draws the screen is so it's so short that you just have this very, very short amount of time to react. But it's so far on this one. Like, look, like there's a guy all the way down there. Like you could go, well, I'll just go over here and I'll just shoot that guy. I'll go over here and I'll shoot this guy. Oh, I really wanted to hit that radar dish. I did hit the radar dish. And full disclosure, I need to go reverse those controls. Isn't it weird how sometimes your hands, your muscle memory just, you want to control it like a plane. You want it to do that. Which I just tried again. Okay, game over. That's good. That's what I wanted. I wanted to die Zaxxon. Okay. Oops. Now I have no excuse. I'm out of excuses. I've turned off the 3D. I've reversed the controls. Now there's no reason why I should not be the master of Zaxxon. Except for maybe there's a learning mode, and it felt so bad for me. It was like, this is a young child playing this who's terrible at video games. And that's why I was doing so good. It was like, just let him go. He just got this for Christmas. He obviously has never played a video game before. Just let him. So really, if you think about it, this is like the intermediate, I always call it like the intermission. It's almost like a bonus stage on the other Zaxxon. It's like that level. It's just at the beginning. All right, yes. All right, the controls are going like I want them to. I'm going up and down. Okay, there's a lot of things to kill me. How do they know I'm an enemy? I could just be like, hey, it's just me, it's just Roger. Just flying in to go get some lunch. They're like, that ain't Roger. That's not Roger, that's Zaxxon. Like, am I so well known in the galaxy that... Look at this. Somebody's in my front door. It's 8:35. Now they're ringing the doorbell. I wonder if somebody's ordered food. Hope it's not one of you guys. It's probably a serial killer. I'll get him on the show. That looked like a dish of butter. There's like guns and radars and butter. They've put that out to make my ship slip in case I should land. Just well, all right. Captain, what did we do? Let's talk about our defenses here. We've tried to slow Zaxxon down. He's making his way through our defenses. He's blowing up our radars. He's blowing up everything. Is it Zaxxon? No, it's just a guy to kill me. Whoops. We've got the radar dishes. We've got the gun turrets. We don't know what else to do. He just slides through our defenses like butter. That's it, Jerry. Oh, what's it? Like butter. Let's go down there and put some butter. And then if he tries to land, he'll get all slippery. I'm not sure that's going to do it. I mean, it's a 10,000-pound spaceship. And also, there's no gravity. And he could just take back off like a... Okay, let's watch out for bullets. Now, I'm hiding down here, so I take it I'm not shooting him. I have to... It's ridiculous. Because I'm not hitting him, right? Oh. I'm trying to... Oh. Is that an alarm like I've almost killed him? Or is that an alarm like my time is short on this planet? Okay. Here's my deal. Ready? I just ran out of... Oh, I ran out of fuel. That's what that alarm was. Okay. That was, you know what I don't? Let's try one last thing. I hate to end on a failure. You know what I mean? I always hate to go out on one that doesn't work. But I don't remember if I copied or if I set this up yet. You know, I'm so bad at it. Like, I get the MiSTer and I just copy the stuff over I like to play and then that's it. I should spend more time populating everything, you know, but I don't feel like yeah. I mean, that doesn't, yeah, I didn't set this up. So, I didn't want to end on a failure, which is, what I did. Good job, O'Hara. Good job, Flacky. Let's move that over here. Let's move the chat window over here so I can see all my friends. And let's go back to here. Wizard, your fuel is running out. You're almost out of food, but you're not out of Smirnoff. That's a good time, Dan. So, let's turn off the old MiSTer. You know, the MiSTer. God, what a great thing. And I'm always worried about buying open source projects that depend on other people's enthusiasm. You know what I mean? Because if the people that are working on the MiSTer thing, if they run out of enthusiasm, then it's over, right? I mean, it's just the whole project depends on people developing stuff for free. So, but as long as they're willing to do it, it's working great. I love it. And if it stopped tomorrow, if they stopped upgrading stuff tomorrow, 100 zillion%, I feel like I got my money's worth out of it. It's such a great little device. I've been looking at the Retroid 3 Plus handheld. I know there's some different handhelds out there. The Retroid 3 Plus is the one I was looking at. It's Android based. Apparently it has a really good screen. It emulates, I saw it emulating 3DS stuff. I saw it emulating Dreamcast. I'm just amazed. Like when I see like Dreamcast in my head mentally, Dreamcast is a level that you shouldn't be able to emulate, which is just outdated information, right? Or I saw him playing GameCube games on it, and that stuff amazes me, especially on a little, you know, it's a $150 handheld. That's completely amazing. So. Anyway, let me plug one thing real quick. Well, first of all, there'll be a Sprite Castle coming out either tomorrow or Friday. I'll be talking about Zaxxon. So if you enjoyed tonight's stream, you want to know more about the game, check out Sprite Castle. Also, for the people that have been supporting me on Patreon for the past couple of years, you know that every Monday I do a show called Rando Rob, where I pick a random item from one of these shelves, from one of those shelves, from up here. It could be anything, you know what? And then the problem is I never put them back where they're supposed to go. Here's an item. I think I covered these one time on the show. Here is Davey Osborne, and here is Jack Flack. So I have a zillion things in this room and in my building and all this stuff. And so I pick a random item from one of my collections. I talk about it. And this has been a reward for my Patreon supporters. So as I'm starting to slow things down for next year, one of the things that I decided to do was to make those episodes free for everyone. And so if you go to youtube.com/Rob O'Hara, you will see a playlist called Rando Rob. And what I have started doing is editing the older episodes and uploading the old episodes one a day. And then I always do a new episode on Monday. So the numbering is a little weird right now if you look at the playlist. So there's a new episode from Monday, which is episode 87. And then you'll see episode 1, 2, and I just finished right before this. I edited episode number 3. That'll go up tomorrow. But I did have someone on my Patreon page say that they would like it in audio format, and when people ask for things like that, I deliver. So if you go to iTunes, you can find, I set up a new feed for Rando Rob. If you search for Rando, that's RANDO space Rob, that is the only feed, that's the only hit that will come up. Or you can go to my website, podcast.robohara.com, and you can find them on the website there, and you can listening to those. So there will be, all the old episodes will be going up for free on YouTube. I thought people would prefer them on YouTube because you get to see the items, because I hold things up and I talk about them and show them and stuff. But some people just like the audio things and stuff like that. So so that's if you want the audio, you can do the audio. If you want to do the video, you can do the video. Drezu says, forgot to say thanks for your transparency with Mason's conception. Yes, I did upload a video of me and my wife making our first baby. No. No, it was, I just mentioned that my son turned 21 over the weekend, and our first kid was not an easy thing. We had to do fertility treatments. We had to go through, like tests, pregnancy tests, or not pregnancy tests, but, sperm tests and egg tests, and then fertility treatment. And we actually had to go to a fertility clinic where they made us sign a thing that said we are financially capable of supporting multiple births if that were to happen. And there were posters all over the wall of the so-and-so triplets and the quadruplets and the quintuplets and all that. So that was a bit nerve-wracking, but everything worked out the way it was supposed to. And 21 years and 2 days ago, we had our first kid. And so, you know what? Let me tell you, I don't even know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about this because I've had 3 glasses of peppermint schnapps, but I'm not on OnlyFans. I mean, I'm not posting on there, but I don't go there. I don't look at stuff or whatever. But I saw some different van life people, because I do all these van life, and I was like, how are these people, especially single women, how are they making a living in their vans? Like, they just drive around 24/7 and they don't seem to have jobs. And then I eventually found out that they are also on OnlyFans, and I went, well, that makes sense. I know I'm just boozing it up tonight. I'm like, oh, here's another thing. Here's my social security number. No. I just didn't realize how big the world of OnlyFans was. But it's big. And, there's a part of me that gets the appeal. What's funny is, I'm going to open up the window here for just a second about how the sausage is made. You guys, everybody that's in, I think everybody that's in the chat right now, definitely everybody that's been talking and stuff like that, you always feel like, those people, you know what I mean? Like, you chat, I chat, we're talking, you know those people. But every now and then, someone who I have never interacted with will send me an email, or even strangers, like, come up to me like at a show or a thing like that, and they'll just start talking to me, and I'm like, I don't know who you are. It's very weird because they have seen the videos, they've listened to the podcast, they feel like they know who I am, but they've never introduced themselves to me, you know? So I don't know their name. I don't know who they are. So I feel like OnlyFans is kind of that same thing where people, they feel like they know these people and they want to pay money to see more or whatever. The good news for all you guys is I do it for free. I don't have an OnlyFans. I just come online and talk and play games for free. Although I don't think the young ladies I've seen on OnlyFans are playing video games. Although if they do, that's the one that I would pay for and support. So anyway, if you go to YouTube, my channel is Rob O'Hara. You can see the Rando Rob videos if you want to see those. It's amazing how terrible my audio was 2 years ago. My audio is so much better now. There's a stream. If you go to podcast.robohara.com, you'll see the Rando Rob audio feed on there. And I'm just blabbering at this point. So I'm going to go. Thanks for everybody for tuning in. We had some fun playing some Zaxxon, some different versions. We played, Commodore, 2 versions on the Commodore. We played Apple. We played SMS. We played Atari 5200. We played something else. Colecovision, and you guys gave me some ideas for ones that I hadn't tried yet. So I've got some more Zaxxon playing in my near future. And obviously I've got some other systems I need to go through and configure and get everything set up on the MiSTer. So thanks, Beach Bum, Brock 101, Buck Owens, Commander Root. Commander Root's a bot. We all know that. Adam's in here, Drezu. Hercule Razmataz. That is a fancy stage name. Jason Warnes, L. Curtis Boyle, Mac Apple, Manifold Kaizen. So good to see you in here. Glad you joined the party. We got Petzel, C-Dubs, Steel Rat, Steve Burtz, 1010, Texas Foosballer, and Tippins One. And of course, working the old band hammer on the night, Amigos Retro Gaming. So, I think that's it for me. Let's see. Let me look at the date. I'll be on next Wednesday. It's the 21st. I'll be on next Wednesday. So we'll have some Christmas. Maybe we'll put together some Christmas holiday, something cold and snowy. Everybody thinks of winter games. That's what I always think of, but we'll find something else. We'll play some winter, not capital games by Epics, but we'll play some wintry games next week. So thank all you guys. I love you so much. Thanks for coming in, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.